sprite. So I want to take a look at something. Let's see here. We have our player scene with a character body node and a sprite node that displays this image. Then there is a node 2D scene named as main scene with a script attached to it. We go to Visual Studio Code. I have this project open here. Now let's see where did it go. Here it is, player.scene and main scene.gd. And where is main scene dot, okay, where did I save it? Main scene.tscn. Anyways, so yeah, this is basically opening this scene in a code editor, and we can see these are the lines that are currently added in it: a node name and a GD scene with a UID. I have attached a script to it, but I have not saved it. Now let's save it and let's see what the changes made are. As you can see, script external resource, and then it goes on to essentially mention the preload the script path. Now if I add player to it, currently nothing has happened, but if I save it, then we have got another node name character body 2D with an external resource as its instance, which is coming from the player scene. Effectively, what I wanted to do while this was essentially showcase and help get a bit better understanding of how instantiating scenes in another node basically works. As a matter of fact, let's also look at player.tscn. As you can see, there is a node named sprite2d with a texture as external resource here, which is basically what is happening in our player scene, since we have a sprite2d and a texture as our external resource. If I remove it, nothing has changed for now. Once I save it though, while there is a sprite2d, that setting has been removed from here. I don't think it's a good idea to manipulate the scenes from here when we have a graphical user interface, but for getting a better understanding of how some of these things function, I think this most definitely works. So let's add a collision object here. Let's save it and let's go to main. Whoops, sorry, the player I have added in player. My bad. Anyways, now let's add something known as a collision shape. Let's add any shape, and if we save it, as you can see, rather than in shape property, rather than external resource, we are getting a sub resource here, because when you instantiate new resources like this, they are basically embedded into this scene itself. For now, I can essentially save it as a separate resource, and once I do that, as you can see, I have got a TRES file here, which basically stands for text resource file. And let's save it and let's reopen the player scene, and it has become external resource. Since it is now an external resource, basically meaning that what is happening here is that a resource file is basically a file that contains the data, and while the nodes and whatnot are used to nodes and scripts are used to operate on the data that is contained. And these things, the collision shape, textures, images, models, all these essentially end up being resources which are embedded into the scene as a resource within the scene or loaded externally. Essentially, that's about it. I'm basically trying to both get a better understanding of these things myself and hopefully impart some of that to anybody who is watching this. There was one more thing which was about RES, but I think that might be better off as a separate video of its own. So